I got a little book reco for you today, and this is really good for all business owners. It's good for you to understand for yourself, but it's also really great for you to understand with your team, and that is Four Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin. So Four Tendencies speaks to how you respond to expectations. Now remember, we have expectations that come from all over. There's expectations that we have of ourselves, like, I want to get up and go to the gym today. That's an expectation I put on myself. And there's also expectations that come from other people, like your kids or your parents or your partner or your clients, when they say, I thought you were going to do this. Aren't you going to do this? Right? Or sometimes it's just like, hey, you're going to get the kids, right? You're going to pick up so-and-so, right? Whatever. Expectations from others, expectations from ourselves. Now, each one of us is a little bit hardwired to respond to those expectations in certain ways. In the Four Tendencies, not shockingly, you're going to find there's 4 different ways that you might respond to expectations. And I want to tell you what they are. So the first one is an upholder. And the upholder is one that actually responds, I'm trying to flip to the page so I can show you this chart. They respond well to expectations from others and from themselves. So they're like, kind of like the golden child. They sit in this little circle here. They're like kind of roll with the punches. They can do it. They can do things that they want to do. They can do things others want to do. Their feathers often aren't ruffled by either, but sometimes they are so principled they can seem often quite rigid. So you may know someone who falls into this camp. Okay, then we have the questioners. Now, questioners will meet their own expectations. So when they're like, I want to do something, they're going to do it. But when someone else asks them to do it, they're like, and they're called a questioner for a reason. They ask lots of questions so that they can understand it more deeply, and then they will decide if they're getting on board or not, okay? Then we have our friends over here at the obligers. These amazing folks will put others' needs before their own, which can often come at their detriment. So they'll meet others' expectations, but often they do not meet their own. And I will tell you, a group of humans come to mind, and this is a blanket statement, so don't blast me, but a lot of moms fall into this camp. You're putting your child's needs first, maybe then your partner's needs, if you own a business, your business's needs, and then you, my love, have gone dead last. You're like, I don't go to the gym, I don't take care of myself, I'm working late at night, I'm burned the fuck out. Yeah, baby. Those are our obligers. This happens to a lot of my mamas. Okay, then we've got the rebels. Now I will tell you, I'm a rebel. A rebel is a unique little person in that they sometimes don't respond to their own expectations or to respond to others. Now, that might sound like they don't do anything, which is not true, but it's that they need to find a deep connection for within themselves as to why they are doing anything, whether it's for themselves or for someone else. So often they have to tap into something like a deep or purpose or meaning in order to get on board, but once they're on board, woo, they are off to the races. So here's what I'm going to say. You don't have to get the book yet, but you can. But I would say go do the assessment. The assessment is very brief. It is free. You will find it on her website, The Four Tendencies. Take it. And if you get some results that strike you as curious, reach out. Let me know. Also, really powerful tool to use with your team, because if you know how your team members respond to expectations, it's going to give you some insight as to how to guide them and how to lead them. So let's just say, for example, that you have an obliger on your team, and your obliger, you know, is going to knock it out of the park because they always meet others' expectations, but they won't meet their own. You might notice they're prone to burnout and frustration and overwhelm, and you may have to help build a little fortress around them to say, babe, you got to go take some time off. Go take the half of the day, right? Or like, no, you may not assign any more work to this person because her plate's full, right? So we get really good cues as to how to work with and lead people based on how they respond to expectations. All right, hope that's helpful. See ya.